Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you realize that being useful has its limits. For too long, many of us have worn our utility like a badge of honor. We give, we help, we show up for everyone but ourselves. And what happens? Some people see that light in you and think they can use it to brighten their path without ever wondering if you're running out of fuel. In a world that often measures value by productivity, accomplishments, and the ability to serve others, it's easy to lose sight of a fundamental truth. Your worth is not tied to what you can do for someone else. Self-worth goes far beyond utility. It is intrinsic, unshakable, and independent of external validation. Yet many of us find ourselves trapped in the belief that being useful equates to being worthy. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek approval through action. Be a good student. Be a helpful friend. Be an indispensable employee. While these qualities can be admirable, they should never define your self-worth. The danger lies in becoming so focused on being needed by others that you forget your own needs. When utility becomes the currency of your relationships and interactions, it opens the door to exploitation, burnout, and a sense of emptiness when the well of appreciation runs dry. True self-worth is about recognizing and embracing your value as a human being, not as a tool, not as a resource, but as a person with feelings, dreams, and a unique presence in this world. It is about understanding that your existence matters, even when you're not actively solving problems, helping others, or achieving something visible. To prioritize self-worth above utility, it's essential to set boundaries. People-pleasing and overextending yourself may feel rewarding in the short term, but they often come at the cost of your emotional and physical well-being. Learn to say no without guilt and yes only when it aligns with your own values and priorities. Surround yourself with people who see and appreciate you for who you are, not just what you can do for them. The right relationships will nurture your sense of worth, while the wrong ones will deplete it. Remember, your worth is inherent. It doesn't diminish when you rest, when you say no, or when you choose yourself. You are valuable simply because you exist, and that truth will always be enough. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-care and self-respect you can practice. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out, but bridges that guide how others can engage with you in a way that honors your well-being and individuality. They are essential for maintaining healthy relationships, protecting your peace, and ensuring that you are not taken for granted or overextended. Many of us struggle with boundaries because we fear disappointing others or being perceived as selfish. Society often celebrates selflessness, leading us to believe that prioritizing our needs is wrong. But the truth is, without boundaries, we risk losing ourselves in the service of others, leaving little room for our own growth and happiness. Setting boundaries begins with self-awareness. You need to identify what feels right for you and what doesn't. Pay attention to situations or relationships that drain your energy, make you feel uncomfortable, or leave you feeling unappreciated. These are often signs that boundaries need to be established or strengthened. Communicating your boundaries is equally important. Be clear, direct, and kind. For example, if someone frequently interrupts your personal time with requests, you might say, "I value our connection, but I need this time to recharge. Let's set a specific time to talk later." The goal is to express your needs in a way that is firm but not confrontational. Enforcing boundaries requires consistency. When you let violations slide, it sends a message that your boundaries are flexible, which can lead to further overstepping. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but standing your ground is a critical step in teaching others how to treat you. It's also essential to remember that setting boundaries doesn't mean you're selfish, it means you're self-aware. By protecting your energy and time, you're not only preserving your well-being, but also ensuring you have the capacity to show up authentically and wholeheartedly for the people and activities that truly matter. Finally, understand that not everyone will respect your boundaries, and that's okay. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Boundaries are about you taking ownership of your life, not about controlling others. The people who genuinely care for you will respect your limits because they value you, not just what you can do for them. In setting boundaries, you reclaim your power, honor your worth, and create space for a life that reflects your true self. Reclaiming power is about stepping into your truth, asserting your autonomy, and living a life that aligns with your values and desires. Too often, we unknowingly give away our power to others' expectations, societal norms, or the fear of conflict. This act of relinquishment can leave us feeling small and fulfilled and disconnected from our authentic selves. But reclaiming power is not about dominance or control. It's about self-ownership, self-respect, and the courage to live on your terms. The first step to reclaiming power is recognizing where and how you've lost it. Are there relationships where you feel constantly drained or unappreciated? Are you making decisions out of obligation rather than genuine desire? These are signs that your power has been handed over, often in the form of people-pleasing, overcommitting, or suppressing your true feelings to keep the peace. Reclaiming power begins with a mindset shift. It requires you to believe that you are deserving of a life where your voice matters, your boundaries are respected, and your needs are met. This belief might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent years prioritizing others over yourself. But remember, reclaiming your power is not an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-preservation and self-love. A crucial part of this journey is learning to say no without guilt. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to something that might. By being intentional with your commitments, you create space for what truly aligns with your goals and values. Another aspect of reclaiming power is taking responsibility for your happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors or other people for what isn't working in your life. While circumstances and others may influence your experiences, you have the power to choose how you respond. By focusing on what you can control, your attitude, decisions, and actions, you regain authority over your life's direction. Reclaiming power also means surrounding yourself with relationships that empower and uplift you. Let go of connections that diminish your light and invest in those that encourage your growth. Finally, trust yourself. Your instincts, dreams, and inner voice are guides to the life you're meant to live. By reclaiming your power, you honor who you are and open the door to a life filled with purpose, freedom, and joy. An authentic relationship begins with mutual respect. In these connections, there is a balance of giving and receiving, a sense of reciprocity that fosters growth and trust. Authentic relationships don't demand perfection, they embrace imperfection and create a safe space for vulnerability. You can show up as your true self, knowing you won't be judged or diminished for your flaws, mistakes, or insecurities. To choose authentic relationships, start by understanding yourself. Reflect on your values, priorities, and emotional needs. When you know what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to recognize connections that align with your core principles. Authentic relationships thrive on shared values and mutual understanding, which serve as the foundation for meaningful bonds. One of the most important aspects of cultivating authenticity in relationships is clear communication. Be honest about your feelings, boundaries, and expectations. Authentic connections require transparency, even when conversations are difficult. People who truly care about you will honor your honesty and work to nurture the relationship. Authentic relationships also require effort and intentionality. They don't just happen, they are built through shared experiences, trust, and genuine care. Make time for the people who matter, show appreciation, and invest in their well-being as they do in yours. Ultimately, choosing authentic relationships is about honoring yourself. It's about surrounding yourself with people who celebrate your successes, support you in your struggles, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. These connections enrich your life, provide a sense of belonging, and remind you that you are deserving of love and respect just as you are. Self-awareness is the foundation for personal growth and transformation. It is the process of understanding who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, values, emotions, and patterns of thought and behavior. By cultivating self-awareness, you gain clarity about your life, your purpose, and your relationships, allowing you to make intentional choices that align with your true self. Growth begins with an honest assessment of where you are. This requires looking inward with courage and curiosity, rather than judgment or fear. Ask yourself, what are my core values? What motivates me? What habits or beliefs might be holding me back? Self-awareness isn't about criticizing yourself, it's about recognizing the areas where you can improve while embracing the qualities that make you unique. One of the greatest benefits of self-awareness is the ability to identify patterns that no longer serve you. For example, you might notice that you tend to overcommit to please others, leaving little time for your own needs. Or perhaps you recognize a tendency to shy away from opportunities because of self-doubt. Once you become aware of these patterns, you can take proactive steps to change them. Self-awareness also deepens your emotional intelligence, which is crucial for navigating relationships and life's challenges. When you understand your emotions and their triggers, you can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This helps you build stronger connections and communicate more effectively, both personally and professionally. Another aspect of self-awareness is understanding how you show up in the world. Reflect on how your actions impact others and whether they align with your intentions. Growth comes from closing the gap between how you see yourself and how others experience you. This alignment fosters authenticity and trust, both with yourself and others. Cultivating self-awareness requires practice. Tools like journaling, meditation, and seeking feedback from trusted individuals can help you develop a deeper understanding of yourself. It's also important to approach self-awareness as an ongoing journey, not a destination. As you grow, your perspectives and priorities may evolve, and continued self-reflection ensures you remain aligned with your true path. Ultimately, self-awareness empowers you to live intentionally. By understanding who you are and what you want, you can make choices that support your growth, happiness, and fulfillment. With self-awareness as your guide, you unlock the potential to become the best version of yourself and create a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations.